With the Minister of Education in Egypt, and we have received some kind
but
of
don't depend
recognition.
upon governments. You have to work on your own too.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
we have offered it. We have offered them some sort of appreciation from our center to the government to just implement the idea in some certain government schools, and if it did have an impact on the kids, we can implement the whole idea.
So very interesting. Wishing you the best of luck,
Thank you very much.
Mona and Dil and Ahmed and Dil. Mona and Dil is the master trainer, and Ahmed is the operation manager. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Let's move on now to a break, and we'll be back.
Details about the Luxor Festival for African Cinema's second round was announced by the president of the festival, Said Fouad. The announcement conference that took place at the Hanegas Theatre in the Cairo Opera House was attended by a number of renowned artists, including actress Lib Liba and film director Khalid Yusuf.
السينما الأفريقية ما يميزها إن عندها مشاكل في مجتمعاتها تنوء على حملها الجبال.
What makes the African cinema unique is a number of important issues and difficulties that face the African nations, like hunger, poverty, and human rights issues. It is important for art to tackle these issues so that the international community can learn about it and help.
في وسط مناخ فيه موت بسبب الفقر أو بسبب المرض، ولا تتلقى هذه الأعمال، لأن في النهاية حياة الإنسان هي أغلى شيء في الوجود.
The president of the film festival met with the ambassadors of various African countries taking part in the festival. This is to celebrate their success. This meeting is also important to assure African nations that despite the many changes in Egypt post-revolution, cultural dialogue with the African countries will remain strong.
The most important part regarding Ethiopia in this festival is that Ethiopia is represented by three major films. One of them, The City of Runners, and this is a film focusing on Ethiopian ladies who scoop a large number of medals in the world of marathon. The other is based on a novel from the Ethiopian modern literature. It is called The Eclipse, produced by Haymanot Alamu. The producer himself will be presenting his film and introducing it to the audience. Another important, or let me say rather the most important event, will be the presence of Haile Gerima, who is among the persons who will be awarded during this festival, and he is organizing a workshop for the young African film producers and cinema as a link between cultures and introducing African cultures to the sons and daughters of this great continent has a very important dimension in the public diplomacy we're carrying out at the embassy, and I am very happy that in this new year the presence of Ethiopians regarding Ethiopian movies and the personality of Haile Gerima bestows great importance to this festival.
The second round of the festival includes 18 films from 17 African countries in the long and dramatic films section. Also, the festival includes 20 short films and 21 animation films. 8 films about revolutions are taking part in the festival as well.
أهم ما في الدورة الثانية إنها الدورة الثانية، يعني إحنا قدرنا نعمل دورة أولى في ظل ثورة، في ظل ظروف اقتصادية صعبة.
Despite the political instability and economic hardships in the country, we have managed to do the second round of the festival. This is to prove that we have an African cinema festival, we are part of this continent, and we care about African cinema.
بفنها وبمثقفيها وعادت إفريقيا إلى قلب مصر، وده اللي افتقدناه في الفترة اللي فاتت.
This year, the festival is honoring actress Yara, cinematic critic Samir Fuad, and Malayan film director Suleiman Sisea. Also in the field of animation, the festival will honor Shwikar Khalifa and director Atif Al-Tayyib. This is Raham Morsi reporting for Nile Cruise.
Think about happiness, good health and success, and of course you will cause people to like you and maybe even help you because they enjoy the vibrations that a positive mind emits. It's a new concept, and of course with it is the concept of life coaching. And today we're delighted to be having Naif Mukhtar, who's a life coach. Tell us more about the concept. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Before we start or talk about the positive or negative thinking, just tell us more about the concept of the life coaching, because still a lot of people, they do not understand exactly what is it about.
All right. First of all, life coaching is about helping people. Helping people to do what? Helping people to overcome their obstacles, their problems, what they're facing in their lives. Okay? Everything, every aspect in their life. And on the other hand, to achieve their objectives. Every one of us has goals and objectives. So the life coach here helps that individual to reach goals through different tools and techniques that we use. I'm a life coach, certified life coach, and NLP coach as well, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's concerned about how we think. How
Stands for what?
Neuro-linguistic programming. Okay? It's the brain's manual. It teaches us how to communicate better with our mind in order to achieve our goals. So this is simply NLP in simple terms. It has lots of techniques and tools. Life coaching, it's new, of course. Here to Egypt it's very new. Probably I'm one of the few who are introducing this concept here in Egypt. In the US it started in the 70s, early 70s, and developed through different other fields, depending on other fields like psychology, human development, self-help, and sports as well, until it reached that format now. It's a whole model now. And in the US, for example, there are like thousands of coaching. Every individual, not every, but most of individuals in the US, they have their coach. You know, when you meet someone in the
life
US,
coach.
Yes. How are you? What's your name? And who is your life coach? So this is how it's...
That's a given.
Yeah, it's a
in
given.
daily
Who's your
life.
lawyer and who's your life coach? So it's very widespread. Thousands and thousands of coaches are there. Here maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 or something like that. So I'm lucky to be one of those.
So what are the main points that you work upon as a life coach?
Let me tell you first how it works, or the format.
The mechanism of it.
Yes. Life coaching could be one-on-one. I can sit one-on-one with you and talk together. And through that talk, we reach certain points. It's like an eye-opener. I act as an eye-opener. I work to do something, it's called self-awareness. Okay? I raise your self-awareness. My objective is to unleash your powers, your potential. Most of us, we have lots of resources inside. Lots.
I think you are making something like SWOT analysis for
Yeah.
the person.
Yeah, if we're talking management, SWOT will be the word. Okay? So we analyze what are your strengths, weaknesses, threats, opportunities, and we walk together in order to reach what we want. By the way, I coach anywhere in the world. I coach while walking, sitting here in a cafe or wherever.
So it doesn't need a certain setting.
No, it doesn't need a certain setting. We just sit next to each other and then we talk and talk. I have good ears, so I listen to every word you say. And this is very important for coaching. It depends on this. I listen to every word and I analyze what's happening. I link things together. Then I hit you with a question. It should be a powerful question that shows you something that was hidden before.
So why don't you try it now with me or with Nashwa? It's a demonstration.
Okay, can I sit beside you?
You are sitting.
You need maybe
okay.
a bit of space, or
No,
to be
in
close to us.
coaching, if the setting will be like that. So this is will be naive, and so this is the setting, and I'll be talking side like that,
Not face to face.
not face to face,
No
because
eye,
this is
no eye contact.
no eye contact, because now I'm a barrier. Yani for you I'm a barrier. So you cannot imagine and use your visualization and things
We're
like
not going
that.
to look at you. We're not going to look at
Maybe
you.
close our eyes.
Yeah. So you can hit me with a problem, or you can tell me of an objective that you want to reach. Of course, it takes time. It's like several sessions we sit together, maybe for 3 months or something. Yeah, it's a program, a whole program.
When it comes to life coaching, I mean, of course, you need to build trust, because you are going to talk about some personal issues with the person you are dealing
course,
with,
yeah.
of course, just like a psychiatry, for example. How are you going? I know there is a great difference between a psychiatry, a psychologist, and of course the life coaching. But when it comes to trust, especially these days, we lack trust. All of us, no one trusts the other, even
Yeah.
if he's very close to you, for example. Speaking of conspiracy and something like this, how do you build trust with your patient or your, I don't know what to say, how do you name it, customer, patient?
Not patient, of course, because I'm not a psychiatrist.
all
I'm not a
patients,
I'm not a doctor.
Okay.
So he's my client, or could she or client, the two names. This is a cornerstone in coaching. This is the first thing that we are taught to build, trust. Because if there's no trust, there's no coaching. So my mission in our first session is to create a safe environment for you to trust me. And this is my job. This is my technique. Okay, I cannot tell you what exactly I do. But of course there are lots of techniques, like building rapport, for example, like when you're sitting like that and I'll do that, like you, and then I start talking at the same pace, and I do some stuff, but at the same time I'm a trustful person. I mean, you can trust me. I give you that impression. And
You study body language as well, with the
it's
life
about,
coaching or
of
what?
course, it's about the body language, the facial expressions, and how I look to you, and lots of things. But I know that I'm able to build that trust, alhamdulillah, yeah.
So what about the another concept, which is the positive thinking that we're going to be addressing tonight? How can we achieve it easily?
Easily?
Yeah, what are the steps for it?
Okay.
It's easier to think negatively.
Negatively.
This is true.
Yes. First of all, there's nothing called be positive or just think positive. This is, let me say, this is nonsense. This is not true. It's not an order. It's not easy just to think positive. If you're thinking negative all the time, most of the time, all your life, how come I can just tell you think positive and that's it? It's not easy at all. Okay. But in coaching, I show you how to think positive, how to make it a habit, to turn it from just a thinking to a habit.
Yes.
And this requires lots of work between us. Okay. But the first rule is to decide, do you want to be positive, to think positive or not? This is a decision that you have to take at the beginning. Then I show you how, step by step, to think positive, how to eliminate negative thinkings, how to stop negative thoughts from coming inside, from coming into your mind. You have to stop that first. And lots of techniques, some of which are like the replacement technique. In order to stop something, you have to replace it with another thing. So I give you options, different options to think about. I mean, lots of things.
Yes.
Yeah. The main thing is that you need to decide that you want to change, really. Change your life, change everything. Use all your resources. As coaches, we believe that you're resourceful, creative, and whole. You're one unit. And this is the first concept that we start with.
When do I feel that I need to seek the help of a life coach?
Right now. I mean, everyone at any point of time needs a life coach. Even the coach himself needs a coach. Why? Because he's a companion. He's your companion. He will... Let me tell you something that's very important. In coaching, there's no advice. And this is a surprise for lots of people. Why you're hiring me if I'm not giving you advice? Actually, if I'm giving you advice, I will not be a real coach. I guide you, yes. I teach you, yes. But I will not tell you what to do. I will not take a decision for you. I will not advise you. If you're playing in a gym, if you're in a gym, and you have a trainer, personal trainer, he will tell you the weights that are suitable for you. He will tell you how many times you repeat this exercise.
Alternatives?
No, I mean that if I'm your trainer in the gym, I will guide you, but I will not do the push-ups for you. You are the one who will do the job. I will help you, but you will take the decision. There is a wonderful metaphor that describes coaching. Imagine that we are sitting in one car, and I'm sitting on the right hand side and you're sitting on the left hand side, and I'm your coach. Who's driving this car?
I'll be driving the car.
You're driving your own car, which is your life. I'm sitting beside you, next to you, just to show you the way, just to tell you what do you want to get on the right hand side or the left? What are there? What are the obstacles? What are the challenges here? After analyzing this together, then you decide what you want. Do you want to turn right or turn left? Then I'll do another job. I will support you all the way. We will face obstacles and challenges. It's not rosy. Life is not rosy. So it's about reality. It's about getting results. So I will support you at different stages until we reach our goal. I wear different hats. Sometimes the client or the coachee needs support. So I'm here to support you. Sometimes he or she needs challenge. So I feel that.
You're life coaching, and let's say you're working all the time. My final question, what happened to Egyptians?
What do you mean?
What happened to Egyptians?
What happened now to the Egyptians?
The Egyptians in general. Their attitude changed, their behavior changed, their perceptions. I don't know. You can tell us very briefly, how do you see this?
Okay. They let the environment to affect them so easily. You have ways to stop that. I mean, we all feel what we feel and what we are living now and with all the circumstances, but you have to do something. There's something called the circle of control and influence. If the situation is in my control, in my circle of control, I can do something, then I'll do it. If it's out of my control, then I should know that. I just have influence on it. So I have to know my territory, my effects. So I have to focus on my area of control. What happened to us is really, it's a crisis. It's something very big. It's not something like easy, and so it's a challenge. But everyone has to do something regarding this challenge in order to let himself use his resources and to survive and then to succeed in this situation, in this environment. We can do it, but we have to focus on ourselves, inner, within, the power within, and we can do that. We can do that.
Life coach Naif Mukhtar, thank you very much for being with us on Life TV and Nile Cruise, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time to go out for a quick break, and we'll be right back again with you.
An annual auction for original Arab horses was held recently at Zahra Station, which is affiliated to the Egyptian Agricultural Authority, in which a number of original Arab horses were presented for selling to horses breeding lovers. The ages of the horses that shared in the auction varied from 2 to 22 years. It is well known that horses which are presented for selling are belonging to original Arab species.
بالدولار حاضر يا حاج. شايف؟ انا حاج حسن بالدولار هذول.
They are being advertised during their sellings. The name of the father, the mother, and the cereal the horse is belonged to is mentioned every time. This is Abdi Hussein reporting for Nile Cruise.
With this, we come to the end of our Nile Cruise for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed our segments for tonight. Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Nashwa, and thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, on Nile Cruise, on Nile TV. Thank you for watching, and good night.